Someone told me once, and it was a redneck that told me, so he's just making it up probably, but that there's places where there's pools of mercury at the bottom of the lake just sitting there. Like,
really? Wow.
But it can't be, right? That sounds insane.
Is that how mercury works?
Yeah, that's how mercury works. It would sit down.
I mean, that's how it works. I mean, man, I don't know. I mean, I don't know how it would get washed and collected down that far, like down the lake that far.
Yeah,
but, I mean, that's how it would appear. I wouldn't be surprised.
But there's all kind of wives' tales about that lake. I know there's supposedly a lot of structures underneath it in places where they flooded valleys. So there are structures under there.
I've heard that too.
Yeah, I lived on a Lake Lanier over in the center of Georgia for a while, and there's a racetrack in a couple of towns down there, all kind of stuff. They came in the 60s when the Corps of Engineers built those lakes, and they just bought everybody out. There's cemeteries down there. I had a boat for a while with a pretty good depth finder, and you could actually see the structure sometimes. You go over it, you can see buildings and bridges and all kind of stuff down there. It was crazy.
That's cool. And then I know for a fact people have caught piranha out of there, but that doesn't mean it. Like, people act like piranhas are sharks or something, but one piranha in the lake is just
there's never
an aberration.
One. Yeah.
Well, even so I actually learned something about piranhas today, and you probably already know that piranhas aren't the nightmare villain of movie that they are in movies. That you jump in the river, they're not going to turn you to a skeleton. They don't do that. But in some circumstances, apparently, in certain circumstances, the jungle will eat a small pond or lake. Literally, it'll the undergrowth keeps encroaching into the water and slowly absorbing that body of water, and all the life in it turns into just piranhas because they're the apex predator down there. They eat everything else until all you have is starving piranhas who have been eating their week for who knows how long. And so the water's getting smaller and smaller, so they're more and more concentrated. They're starving, and if you fall in there, they will turn you into a skeleton.
Yeah, piranhas are a problem. I don't know. I don't know a lot of people that have been hurt by them. Like I keep fish, and I've been around fish since like the 90s. This is like fresh and saltwater aquariums. YouTube knows this, so it feeds me piranha feeding videos all the time. You put dead mouse in an aquarium, whoa, they just attack like a feeding frenzy. And it makes me think that if a person were to jump in on a larger scale, that you'd have a similar thing. But I don't know of any people who've been eaten like that.
Yeah, according to my YouTube, we'll be okay. But unless you find that scary little pond at the jungle ate and you fall in there, that's a perfect horror movie. That's a perfect horror movie. Have it be all about an area where that happens.
What, avoiding a small pond?
Well, okay, like maybe there's a lot of them and we can't see them or something, Taylor. Let's just go with it. I found a scary monster in the wild.
Okay.
I've been down to some jungles in South America before, and every time I see the water, that's the first thing I think of is like, man, piranhas. Which I know, obviously not. There's kids and cattle and all kind of people in those lakes and rivers all the time. But yeah, it crosses your mind. Yeah, but same thing. It's like imagination. I mean, it's like snorkeling or diving in the ocean. I mean, you're in the same body of water as some big ass shark out there. You just got to run the numbers and assume they're not gonna be right where you are.
There's a scarier freshwater fish than the piranha, the candiru, Candiru. Do you guys know this one? Yes. It swims up your dick and hurts you, and you have to have it like surgically removed and be infected.
It has barbs that face backwards, so it's up your urethra. And if you wanted to pull it out, it'd be like pulling a barbed arrow out of your pee hole. It's absurd.
I did not expect everyone else to know about this fish. I thought I had a unique thing.
We're men. We hear it once and we're forever afraid. I'm not afraid of that catfish in the least. I'll Donkey Kong him. But one of those urethra creepers scares the shit out of me. And that's what I was going to say. I'm less afraid of big things. Like if you if you get thrown in the jungle, they'll be like, oh, one of those big cats or whatever, get you one of those panthers or whatever they have down there, those big cats, leopard, whatever it is. Well, I don't know. How many are there? Like, let's keep a lookout for them, right? We'll see them coming. They're 100 pounds. That little fucker, we're not going to see him coming. He's going to be right up your pee hole. And it's game over.
It feels good at first.
Yeah,
no, it doesn't, Woody.
I got a friend of mine.
Does it feel good at first? He might.
You're right. Yeah. It would make sense, like evolutionary wise, or an evolutionary.
They're not looking for it to
feel good for you to invite. It'll be like, you know what?
I don't remember exactly what their life process normally is, but I don't think they're searching for pee holes to get in. They think you're something else.
when leeches bite
They
you and
think
suck
you're
your
so
skin, don't they have some like anesthesia, like localized
some
anesthesia, so it
mosquitoes.
doesn't
They do.
hurt?
And
Yeah.
an anticoagulant to
Yeah.
keep the blood from clotting.
Mosquitoes do too, though, and they suck.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not saying they're good. I'm saying that evolutionarily, if that's a word,
They're good at their job.
it makes sense for them to have that little local anesthesia. Then it makes sense for this penis fish to be able to do that in a way that's either fun or pleasurable. Or...
I don't think it's looking for dicks, Woody. Again, I think it's
Yeah.
looking for something else.
I mean, I know there's some fetishes out there, and maybe that's a whole level of tourism. But I got a friend of mine that owns an adult store, and they sell all those like rubber suits and underwear and stuff. And if I ever am going to go swimming and out in the Amazon, I think I'm gonna get me the tightest pair of solid silicone drawers I could find to make sure nothing is getting up the leg of those shorts.
Oh yeah, at
This
least
is
wear
genius.
a condom.
Man.
Oh
I'm gonna
yeah,
be
like
in there.
condom and a rubber band, so it can't come off.
I'm gonna
my
go
dick's
full
gonna be. I'm gonna.
gimp suit.
My dick falls off.
I'm gonna triple down on my Blue Chew to make sure the condom stays on.
Oh
Man,
my God.
what a terrible fish that is. Man, the first
Yeah.
guy who dealt with that, everybody must have called him a liar.
I swear it's in there.
My dick hole, and there's like Ted
You're
jumped
not
in the
getting
water
me
and
to
he's
look at your dick,
freaking
Dave.
out. Yeah.
Please look at it.
This is the same story he told yesterday and the day before and the day before. Yeah, we're not falling for it anymore.
Dying from one of
Yes.
those big snakes down there would be pretty nightmarish as well. I've seen a bunch of those things where they attacked people. The one guy got bit in the arm and it caught an artery or something. It caught some big blood vessel of some kind, and he nearly bled out just from the bite because they've got big fucking teeth. When he had its head, he was on Rogan. He's like, "This is the one." He's got its head. This is the one that bit me, and this is the one that nearly killed me.
So he
And
won.
Its head
Wow.
was like way bigger than you think a snake's head could ever be. Like way too big for a fucking snake's head, man. It looked more like a small dog or something.
Dude, if a python
Yeah.
or anaconda gets you, like I feel like you're going to die with a lot of lead time. Like
now if you
there's
got
a
a
lot
knife.
of screaming.
You just need a knife.
Yeah. There's some like crazy theory, like you're supposed to like relax so it doesn't squeeze you too hard, and then like let it start eating your feet. But then when it like gets to your waist, you're supposed to like cut its like the inner part of its tendons or its mouth. So I mean, there's some crazy thing of like just relax, and I don't think I could do it. I had a friend that was into like
Just
snakes. and
relax.
This is
reptiles.
the worst idea.
Oh, I know. I was like how like that's a lot of faith. You're gonna be
You
able
want to
to
wait till
night,
you've been
but-
fully swallowed,
Once you're
that's-
waist
God.
deep into a
then
snake.
explode.
I
See, the
had a
snake is
friend
gonna
that had
expect a guy
16
resisting.
foot-
Look at that shit.
Yeah.
Look at that
Oh, there he
snake's
is. Wow.
Jesus.
Yeah, that's a scary snakehead. I had a friend of mine that had a 16-foot, I guess it was a python or something. And that snake ate like chickens and rabbits. And it would like it had like a whole room it lived in. It would sit up and it could pretty much sit up like eye level and just stare you down. And like, I mean, we've all been around snakes. I mean, there's snakes look at you, but this snake made like eye contact. Like he was sizing you up. I was never comfortable in that house. That house is two roommates, friends of mine who are roommates. They had like 30, 40 snakes of all kinds, 10-foot snake, 16-foot snake, bunch of poisonous snakes, a whole bunch of tarantulas, a 2-year-old boy, and a cat.
Jesus.
And when you went over there, the cat would just like lean on your legs, like, take me with you. Like everything in that house wanted to kill that cat. And the cat would just be like, please, just, I promise I'm going to eat much. Just get me out of this damn house with all these scary things. And the 2-year-old, that poor cat, man, that cat was just like hollow eyed. He had like that Vietnam chopper pilot look, like he had seen too much, you know. That poor
I'm
cat.
sure he
man.
had. What a horrible existence for the cat. and
I'm
the
actually
2-year-old.
pretty scared of snakes. I didn't like not the snake. It's not like I see a rat snake or something. I'm afraid of him. I'll pick him up. But being in Texas and seeing those real rattlesnakes and understanding how big a rattlesnake is compared to the bullshit that we've got in Georgia, man, I'm afraid of those things. Its head is so wide and like the way it articulates its jaw. The guy we were hanging out with out there, he had a pet one, and it was so big around, and it was just it's all muscle. And it's like, dude, he's got as much muscle there as like a big strong man does in his arm. And that's not even what he does. That's a rattlesnake. He'll kill me if he bites me.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have copperheads?
Yeah,
They
we got
say
those.
we do, and I'm sure we do. But man, there were just never any on my dad's property. There's a creek and ponds there. We'd see them in the water sometime, but we'd shoot them quick. Maybe we just killed them all out because every time we'd see one, we'd 22 pistol and just pop him.
Yeah, we had a lot of Yeah, we had a lot of water moccasins around in North Georgia where I was. Copperheads were the most common. Rattlesnakes were relatively rare because rattlesnake's kind of shy. You know, rattlesnake is way higher up the evolutionary chain than a copperhead or a water moccasin. Rattlesnake, they can control whether they inject venom or not, whereas a copperhead or water moccasin, it's just like a syringe. Rattlesnake can actually control it because they have a much more elaborate hemotoxin neurotoxin blend, and they cannot regenerate that very quickly. So if they were to waste too much of that venom on defense, for example, they may starve to death before they can, tag a rabbit or a field mouse or whatever. Whereas a copperhead or water moccasin, they're just making it all day. They will just bite you nonstop. So rattlesnakes tend to be pretty shy, staying away from people, but copperheads and water moccasins will just come look for you for the fun of it. It seems sometimes, and they were pretty rough, but. Ed Bolian, my friend who runs VinWiki, up until just recently, he had this really, really sweet snake named Sunny. She was about an 11-foot, I think he's called a banana boa constrictor, I guess, kind of a white with a little yellow. And I don't make this up. She was like the sweetest natured snake I've ever been around. Like sometimes even like if your friend's got like a pet snake, they'll kind of sit, sort of coil back and just kind of wait, check out the scene. They look like they might like strike out and tag you or something. But Sunny was just like always just kind of cruising around. She never stopped moving. She never paused or gave you that feeling like she was thinking about biting you or wrapping on you. Yeah, she was just in and out around you, licking in your ear, just cruising around, just meeting people. She was literally like the sweetest snake. And, he'd post pictures of his kids, with the snake, and everybody's like, oh, my God, you're risking it. But that snake was so mellow and just so well fed and so well accustomed to people. He'd had her since she was the size of a pencil, probably. Oh, she just passed away eventually. She had a cancer, actually. But she lived 12, 13 years, I think. I can't remember exactly how old she was. But anyway, just a really sweet-natured snake. And one of the few snakes I've ever been around that I was never a little leery of. She was just super cool. And it was
you talk about the eye contact. The eye contact. It's weird, but that snake's eyes are so scary. And I don't think he was looking at my eyes, but he was just looking at, he was definitely looking at me. He was looking at me. And I'm looking at him. And it's like, he knows I'm here and he wants to kill me. That's so fucking clear right now. Like, he doesn't need to be able to talk for us to get that across because he's giving me he's just like growling. If snakes could growl, his tail.
Oh, yeah.
And the plan was for me to handle it on video. So they're like, this is the snake you'll be handling tomorrow. And I'm like, yeah. Good thing we didn't like bitch out and get a little one, huh? I like that you guys like, are we gonna shake him up, make him good and mean like this tomorrow too? Like, what the fuck is going on, guys? So like, why is he so angry? Did you been telling him that I've been talking shit, like hyping him up for this? And that night in the hotel, I had a nightmare about the next day that it bit me right here, like sort of between your thumb and your forefinger, the back of your hand, and that I lost that part of my hand that it like rotted out and I lost it.
That'd be cool.
And the next day I was like, I'm not gonna fuck with the snake. I'm not handling the snake. Just so everybody knows. Yes, I have pussied out. No, I will not be handling the snake.
You saw that as like a premonition.
Yeah,
I'd have done the same thing, man. Yeah, I don't mess around with that kind of stuff.
I can't watch that show. It reminds me of the worst reality shows with all those fast cuts, lots of editing. And like the music that's trying to make it's not that what's happening isn't interesting. They're picking teams. It's like fucking kickball rules. We're picking teams. But god damn it, I don't need all that music and those quick cuts and it's like, dude, it was either A or B. Don't act like B is such a fucking shock. Like,
speaking of reality shows, just last night I was scrolling around Hulu and I hadn't watched some retarded reality in a while. And there was this one suggested show called like, I don't remember the specific title, like The Princes of Pain or something. And it's like literally guys whose the whole show is they follow around bugs with the scariest, worst stings and then let themselves get stung by these bugs.
There's a YouTube channel based around that.
Yeah, it's like a worse version of what Coyote Peterson used to do. And it's like, because they're like 40-minute episodes and it's exactly what you would think. Like the intro is like 15 minutes of them like driving around talking about like, dude, this is going to hurt. And it's like, dude, I can't even imagine how much this is going to hurt. And it's like, dude, what do you think's going to hurt the worst about it? And it's like, well, the thing you need to know about it hurting is that it's going to be bad. Like, people go into this thinking it might not be that bad. What you got to realize early on is it's gonna be bad. So like the
how bad do you think it'll be?
How do you overcome it, dude? Don't even get me started on how bad I think. And it's like I'm watching it like how much time can be taken talking, like just speculating on the pain. Dude. And then there's like side little things where it's like, this is the bullet ant, and like showing like cool little things about it. But it's like, I'd watch a better show about bugs if I wanted facts. And then of course it all just gets to like, and at the end of the day, it is a bug. Please remember this. And so like, it's not a snake where it goes, and then there's a bunch of blood coming out. At the end of the day, it's a horrifying looking bug that does a tiny little pinprick, and then you got guys going, ooh, oh, that's bad. Shoot, that's a bad one. That's a bad one. And it's just like zooming in, and they're like, you see that right there? Well, you can't really see where it's stung, but like, it's not a hand. You see it's kind of a little bit red right there. No, wait. No, it was over here is where it was. And it's like,
no, it's the other hand. No, this hand.
It's not impressive. Like the look isn't impressive. And it's just it's what the Jackass guys talked about. I think it was Steve-O back in like Jackass 2 who said the ideal Jackass stunt is something that looks enormously painful but isn't. And the worst stunt is something that's enormously painful that doesn't look painful. And that's what this bug show is. Like, I get it's painful as shit, but watching someone get pricked, it's something of pain, maybe Masters of Pain. It's not Princes of Pain. That's a better name. But it's fucking retarded. I watched one episode, and you watch one, you have a total understanding of where that series is going.
Like again, I don't like snakes. Like I just know the value of them in the ecosystem here, right? Because we don't have rats, scorpions. I could do without the tarantulas. Dude, have you ever seen a tarantula hawk?
Yes, I saw Coyote Peterson sting himself with one. Yeah.
Yes, they paralyze the tarantula and then drag it to their nest.
Yeah, they do that a lot. Wasps might be the worst thing on our planet if you think about how they live their lives and what they're about. They're completely carnivorous. Many of the species do what Richard just described, where they paralyze a specific species often. That's like and drag it back to their nest, lay their eggs in it, and then their larvae eat it alive from the inside out usually, and then burst from within. And that's a big part of their life stage. It's not like, oh, it was either lay you in a tarantula or in a orange. No, it was never going to be an orange. It was always going to be a poor tarantula. We call them dirt daubers. I don't know what they're really called, but they're these wasps that take mud and make these sort of lines that they make their little colonies in. And if you've ever knocked one off your building, or if you're the eve of your house or whatever, you'll see they're full of spiders who have been interred semi-alive to be devoured. They're full of little spiders. Yes. And not just spiders, but sometimes there'll be other little like flies, like anything the wasp could capture and like inter in there for its larva to eat. It's terrifying. It's like something out of the worst science fiction. It's 40K.
We go in the garden and we'd see all the caterpillars where the wasp had laid the eggs in the caterpillars and like all the scars on their backs, and then like the babies growing inside before. It's just
there you go. Yeah, inside there is a hellscape you can't imagine if you're a spider. It's a dark place. Oh, Ender's Game is a fun concept. For those who don't know, at the end, these children are the ones to like control the sort of alien defense network, and they don't realize, they think they're playing a game, and it's a very structured, militarized game that they're playing, but they don't realize, they think it's a simulation, that they're like trying to figure out how to fight the enemies in the future, but they're fighting the war right now. So when they're making strategic choices like having a cruiser full of humans just crash into the enemy because it gives them a quarter second more time to charge up the weapon on a different ship. And it's like, that was 100,000 people. But the kid doesn't know that he just sacrificed 100,000 humans. He's trying to win the game. It's a fun movie, and it's a good book. But like I said, I felt like it'd be a good like 30-minute Twilight Zone episode. I knew what was going on right away, if I'm being honest.
You mentioning the tarantula hawk. Have you guys ever seen Coyote Peterson's videos, the like nature guy who's like unbelievably upbeat, and he lets himself get stung and bitten by the most horrid things. He's been doing it for so many years. Jesus, and there was a recent one that came out that had to be removed from YouTube because I think it was too gory. It's set up like a sketch. He's like, all right, I'm going to let the snapping turtle, a real snapping turtle, like bite onto the meaty part of his hand. And the plan to make sure that it didn't bite all the way through his hand was to put a stick here. And so it can't bite through the stick. Now, you might imagine a stick like a big old beefy dowel, hard wood, like a baton. It was the kind of thing that, like, if it was the structural post for a gingerbread house, it wouldn't hold up. It was it's the most laughable stick you've ever seen. And it's like taped to his wrist. So it's just kind of splayed out here. And he's like, the stick will protect me. And so he puts his hand in front of this snapping turtle, and it bites damn near clean through his hand. And immediately he's like, beforehand, he's like, and the way if this goes wrong, you just dump water on a snapping turtle's head. That convinces it that it's now underwater and it will release. And so he immediately is bit, and if you've seen this guy, he doesn't freak out like ever. He can be stung by the most painful bugs, and he's like, oh, that's smarts, gosh darn. And like, it bites clean through his hand, and he's like freaking out. The camera is moving up and down because the guy's like jostling it, trying to get close. And the cameraman is panicking so much because he's bleeding so much that he's dumping the cold water on Coyote Peterson's hand instead of on the turtle's head. And so he wastes all the water on this guy's hand. And he's got like a chunk of meat that is, like, if the thing pulls, is going to be gone from his hand. It was up on YouTube for like 20 minutes. And they removed
the man.
Is he? I don't know where he is. He travels the world. He travels abroad to get stung. No, he's just a dude in a cowboy hat. I like him. He makes good content.
Watching a video of his from 8 years ago where he has a snapping turtle, but he does safe things. He has like a big chunk of meat. He has a cast to protect his hand at one point. But the turtle that he's showing, if this is the kind of turtle that he actually let bite him, that's crazy, because it's the biggest, meanest turtle you've ever seen.
That's an alligator snapping turtle.
Yeah.
Dinosaurs.
We have those here, I think. We call them loggerhead turtles. Again, when you're in the South, everything has a made-up name. But they would be fucking huge. We'd pull them out of the we'd get them out of our catfish pond because, they eat the babies, I'm sure.
Man, snapping turtles are the most ornery, just shitty looking animal. They look mad. They don't look like, have you seen a box turtle? Box turtle's just popping around, having a time. He's got friendly eyes, which is weird for a reptile to have.
He has a grin. He's like,
there's a little toothless grin. A little, remember Franklin from PBS? Little Franklin grin. That I remember.
Turtle. Hey, it's Franklin. Dun, 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 dun,
dun. This though, demonic. Like, evil.
I've never seen one that big, but I've seen them so big that it's you're standing like that when you hold it. Like, it's just like this thing is 30 or 40 pounds. That's a huge fucking turtle.
How long do they live?
I bet a long time.
Yeah, I wonder if it's comparable to like those sea turtles there or whatever, like or those Galapagos turtles that live for hundreds of years, seemingly.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. They get to live for hundreds of years, but it's like hundreds of years of what? Grass and laying around. Like being on the bottom of a pond, just sort of. Are they stupid?
I went to an aquarium recently, and they had a sea turtle of some sort, and I was like, "Hey, are the turtles smarter than the fish? Like, do you get any vibe?" And she's like, "A turtle brain is about the size of the end of your pinky, and they're no smarter than the other like fish, sharks, whatever, swimming around."
Reptiles are notoriously retarded. Like they don't have a forebrain or a midbrain. I don't think they're like all impulse. And so like when someone's like, my little pet crocodile Booby, he loves me. It's like, no, it doesn't. It quite literally doesn't have the capacity for the emotion you are willing it to express.
But they have something. They have something though. Like, look, hatred, I want to be coldness. With you. I want to agree with you because I like to be that cynical guy that's like, no, that's a monster. It will never love you. So check the monster box and move forward. But then I see TikToks and YouTube videos, and it's like, this is Arnold and his alligator Terry. He's known Terry since Terry hatched from the egg. They live here in Florida, and they're like in a pond, like playing together. And Terry's like being like, clearly, it's not one of those playing together where a handler knows how to handle an animal. This guy's just letting the thing sneak up behind him and like nuzzle up to him and shit. It looked like he had a tame gator. And then I've also seen those lizards, and there's a bunch of different kinds of lizards. So I don't fucking care, but I've seen the ones that they'll like scritch on the lizard and he'll respond like a cat or something, sort of lean and like, oh yeah, right there.
Have you seen dogs with big cats? Big cats being like cougars and tigers. And
I've seen those.
Yeah, they get along well. Yeah,
I do like that. Cats are smart though.
So I just know a tiny bit about it, but apparently big cats are really skittish and bad around people, and I don't know how to, like, fear aggression is one of the common attribute in them. So what they do is they pair it with a dog who is the opposite, and it becomes a good role model. And then as the cougar, for example, grows up, it just has a little bit of dog influence in its personality, which is great for a zoo.
That makes sense.
If you remember the Tiger King, those animals had little dachshunds or something running around with them, like yip 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 yip, like chasing the lion and like licking it in the lion's mouth and chomping on its ears, and this big lion is just like, oh, let this little dachshund fuck it
These
up.
were yellow labs, but yeah, I can imagine that would work.
Yeah.
Have you seen the videos of there's this guy, and actually I think it's happened multiple times. This one dude raised a hippo from birth
what a
in
terrible
Africa.
idea.
Yeah, a hippo, which is smarter than a reptile. And it's like he raised this hippo for like 18 years. And then one day they were going to do what they do, which is fool around in the swimming hole. And the hippo like bit him in half and drowned him at the same time. Like just murdered him. And it's like, what did you think was going to happen, moron?
I didn't know where hippos were on the how scared you should be hierarchy until like 10, 15 years ago. It was Steve Irwin. It was the crocodile hunter.
Don't they kill more people than just about anything else?
Snuggles crocodiles and alligators and whatever. He doesn't think twice of swimming underneath them and touching their bellies. He was a football field away from a hippo. And he's like, this does not feel safe. I am concerned. I don't know how to handle hippos.
It's because they have like an internal map, and they're so fiercely territorial that even if you're that far away, they're like, that guy, he's on my area. This is my area. The only way to solve this is murder.
Boat? Like there's a boat with like full throttle in the wake of the hippo. He's like, how is he
Hippos
going?
Are incredibly fast in the water.
They're basically aquatic animals.
It's scary. There's a scene in the movie Congo where the hippos attack, and I thought it was science fiction when I was a kid because the rest of the movie is. I think it's a Crichton novel. You know, there's lasers and attack gorillas and blue diamonds and shit in that movie, but the hippo shit was legit. It topples the boat and eats McKimbe.
Yeah,
that's a problem.
We needed him. He knew the way.
They just tear you to pieces and then leave you.
So, yeah, I have seen them also like feeding them whole melons, and I'd love to feed a hippo a melon. Like, I'd take the risk.
Okay, you're right about that. But other than that, I would like to stay far away. Have you seen the clip of the one dude in like an Indian zoo slapping a hippo on the head to get it back in a cage? Have you seen that? This hippo was like trying to escape an enclosure that had a barrier that should never have been past muster for a hippo enclosure, and it's like both feet out, like the way a dog is on like those little like kitchen gates, like a smaller mid-sized dog. It's like that trying to go over, and there's like this, I think it's in like fucking India, and this guard is like lackadaisically like smacking it on its like hairy nose, and eventually the thing gets like kind of spooked enough that it's like, all right, you win this round, and it goes back in the water. Which everyone was like, that's so well trained, that's crazy. And I was just thinking, like, they're shocking the shit out of that thing every night or something in order for it to be that afraid of something. Like, that's like you being afraid of your Pomeranian.
That might not hold up forever.
I am afraid of that Pomeranian. It hurts. Every time I see a grown-ass man tolerate a goose fucking with him for 1 second, I don't get it. I like, you've been emasculated. You have been emasculated by a goose, sir.
What do you do, Kyle, if a goose comes
That
up?
happens in Canada all the time.
I'm ending it right there. I swear.
What are you gonna do? Just shoot the goose?
I'm killing it.
Kick it?
No, I don't. I'm not shoot. I'm gonna just look at that long neck.
Grab its neck and
just
fucking
bare
choke
hand.
slam that bitch.
It's like
balls to the wall.
I saw. I don't remember if it was a guy or a girl, but I saw that an internet video where finally they had enough, and they were just like, "Motherfucker, are you serious right now? How about this?" And like dragging it by its neck over and like slinging it into a pond, like that. They
I
need
had
that.
seen that.
They need that treatment every time they step.
You were like, "That's how you do it."
I saw an ostrich get its head wedged between like two things before. You saw that, and it was like, "Get me out of here!" And it yanked its own head off.
Yeah,
it was
Wait,
fucking
what?
weird.
Yeah,
What?
yeah.
Head off?
The ostrich
Literally,
has,
like
it gets its head stuck in like I don't know, like a between a barn door and the latch, or a train door and a latch, something like that, some sort of metal latchy door, and it's just stuck. But you know, if it had like turned its head like this and pulled it out, it probably would have came right out. But instead, it's freaking out and it tears its own head off and falls.
literally
over, like,
yanks it out.
What a
That's
dumbass! It
crazy.
deserves
And I was
it.
like,
Man,
bro, imagine that thing
whoa.
headbutting you though. It just like whips its head at your face.
Oh, there's that one bird from like maybe New Zealand or Australia that had that big bony like structure on their head. That's wild.
The one, it makes chainsaw noises. I know the one you're talking. It's from New Zealand.
Yeah.
They can mimic like car alarms and stuff like that. They look like a pterodactyl. Yeah, yeah.
That's not,
like,
that's
so
not the shoe bill thing, is it?
It's a
no,
can't
they
think of
can
it.
mimic like any sound they hear. So there's like these people who go camping who talk about they'll hear a chainsaw getting cassowary. That's it. Yeah.
Thank you, Zach.
They'll talk about
Hey.
hearing a chainsaw getting closer, and then like, oh no, it's just the velociraptor. Don't worry. And it's running out and making car noises.
Yeah, look at this thing.
Oh my
yeah,
god,
those
yeah,
guys.
that is. I've seen those on nature shows. Yeah,
That's a
Yeah,
shark
horrific.
bird.
that thing does. That
Shark
horn looks like a straight dinosaur horn. No joke. It really does look like a pterodactyl.
Do
Holy fuck.
they like I'm assuming that's a male and like they bash those horns together with other males to mate, probably?
That
I'm
can't
gonna
be
assume
true.
so.
Well, then what's the point? Because like that's what like rhinos do that shit, deer do that. Like every time the male has a horn or antlers, it's because they want to impress the ladies.
Then explain the
Fuck up
narwhal.
everyone.
That's like if that bird looked at a picture of me shirtless, they're like, "That's a female." Let me guess, and the babies suck those titties for milk. Gotta be.
Good shout.
What animal is the most like ridiculous that if you can't say platypus, that's cheating. What animal
Yeah.
if you did you think was fake when you first heard about it? Because it's like, wait a minute. Like,
Do
those
sea
are real?
bears count?
Sea bears? You mean manatees?
No, I'm talking about
he's
sea bears.
the little
Those are sea
microscopic
Are you, talking
cows.
about, are you talking about tardigrades?
That's it. Tardigrade. Yeah.
Oh,
Do those
yeah,
count?
okay,
I don't know if
that's
that is that an animal, huh? I mean, they're
Probably
alive.
Tasmanian
Those-
devil for me. I was like, "That's a real thing."
yeah,
Yeah,
because
That's
the cartoon.
real.
Yeah.
Not anymore.
That's the cartoon.
I was surprised
Yeah,
to learn those were real as well. And I was like,
Bro,
"Do they
I'm
fucking
surprised
spin
that a
around?"
marsupial. I was surprised the marsupilami wasn't real.
It's the narwhal.
Oh,
the
narwhal.
narwhal.
Hey, the narwhal. I legit didn't know those were real until like a year and a half ago. For real.
lot
I
of
always
people
thought
are like
that was a
that.
mythical creature.
Yeah,
I thought it was like an internet meme.
It's not just
am
me
I
that
the
thought
only
that.
one? Am I the only one who thinks that like a narwhal horn would be the coolest fucking thing ever? Like, I want a narwhal horn like on the end of like a staff.
Cane.
Like,
That would
I
be
bet if
sick.
I feel like a
Mhm.
narwhal horn is what you would use to like spear a demon or something. Like it
Yeah.
looks like it has some magical power.
Mhm.
Yeah,
It would be.
I'm with you, bro. I'm with you. I'm vibing.
like I could see that being like the whole plot to a season of Supernatural, having to get a narwhal horn to like stab a demon.
I think we
Like,
should
or-
go
or
on a
maybe
mission in
some
real
sort
life
of,
and
like-
go get one.
I don't know if they're protected or not. They seem.
I don't
pretty
care if
good
they're
about it.
I
protected or not.
swear there was some group of people who, oh yeah, the Inuits. That's right. They hunted them to like near extinction in that
Those
area.
bastards.
Because-
Josh is about to finish the job.
because they wanted to keep the.
Oh, that's a shitty one
tusk and
though.
stuff like that.
Find me a good one. That one's only $1,000. Like what are we, peasants?
Yeah. What the fuck? The
Get
fact
that
you would
shit out. What
even-
is this? A narwhal horn for
The
ants?
ants?
the fact that you would even show me a sub $10,000 narwhal horn.
You just don't know
Like,
how we ball around here.
If I'm
apparently.
gonna play, I'm gonna play.
Don't-
I bet those things are super sharp.
I don't think they are
I
at
bet
all.
you could use.
I'm not
them.
sure.
You don't think so?
I don't
I'm
think
looking at
they're sharp.
pictures and they look fucking sharp.
But don't
and
they?
scary.
Don't they naturally
look
grow
sharp.
to a point?
They
like
do that
continue
like
to
curly
spiral?
Q thing. I watched a thing about it a
I
while
don't
back.
think they're that
I
sharp.
think for a long time they didn't know what they did with them, and now I think they just think that they just like touch them together because it feels good. That's the main reason they exist. That's not
Wait,
true.
they say that's what
That's the way it
scientists say?
exists because it
That's-
feels good.
Yeah, that's what
Haven't we
scientists
all?
say. Yeah, yeah.
I mean,
I
they are
can't.
scientists.
I can't remember why those fucking whales have that silly horn, but I want one of those horns, and I want either a cane or a spear, or maybe like, man,
A
I
sword.
just want
A
lots.
sword.
Actually,
a
it's
I'm gonna
actually
need a lot of
canine
horns.
tooth. That's actually their canine tooth.
Oh my god.
That's a rare double horn narwhal.
Ah,
Apparently, this is their tooth. By the way, this is
the
a
double
canine tooth.
narwhal. You know,
This one's got to be rare.
it's pretty
a
cool.
Holy
Double
shit, that's
narwhal.
amazing.
That looks really cool.
I like how they're both the
want it.
same length.
Oh, I think maybe I read they're like a sensory organ. Like maybe they can detect like something in the water.
Interesting.
What?
Well, it says here on Wikipedia, it's like
it
literally
can
it's-
detect
it's-
anything that it hits with its horn.
It's literally, they said it's literally a protruding tooth.
Wow.
So you'll look at my hand. I can detect this desk.
So it's like big car bumpers, just
Yeah,
stuck out
that's
the
how
front
it
of
works.
wherever it goes. Okay.
You know what? An animal I wasn't 100% sure was real was that blob fish, where they, you know that fish where it
Yeah.
lives in like a million feet underwater or whatever.
Monkfish.
And when they pull it up, the pressure
pressure.
fucks it,
Mhm.
and it basically like turns it inside out, and it has this cartoony face. And it
Yeah,
wasn't.
with the big nose flopping.
I was just like, this looks like a practical effects like goblin face. This doesn't look real. And then you see what it looks like before it's been fucked up by pressure. Pretty normal looking fish.
And it's not that weird.
It's
believe
just
that
a
one.
fish. Yeah.
Does
Yeah.
it kill them to like expose them to
Yes.
the low pressure?
Yeah, they
That's
die from
Mhm.
it.
They're like
When they
being
when they
pulled
reel it
and-
up,
and
it
slowly
has a
dying.
complete body transformation.
So every time you see this picture, just know that is dying a horrible death.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
like
like-
imagine someone reeling you at 100 miles an hour from base camp at Everest to the top, and you're just
Yeah, exactly. See what it's
No.
like that pressure change
No.
does?
It's worse than that. It's like being put
it
in a
is even
vacuum.
worse. Yeah.
It's like it's
I-
like being put in a vacuum because they're used to like all that pressure, and now
Mhm.
none. That's
I
Yep.
hate that
Well,
this fish
like-
came out looking more human.
Yeah, it definitely does.
Like it's like a 10% transformation towards being just an ugly guy.
It's got a big nose.
Literally, it's fucking.
Yeah.
It kind of looks like
Uh,
Peter Griffin now.
Poor thing.
yeah.
Whenever I go fishing, like in the lakes locally, most of the time those fish will die if like I'm running a plug 20 feet under, because they have the air bladder in them that they adjust to how high up and down they want to go. So if like a fish is 30 feet down and you rip it to the top and it doesn't change its air bladder, whenever you throw it in a live well, it can't adjust and it'll just sit there and suffocate after like an hour.
Jesus.
So that's why like a lot of the time fisher, whenever they pull them up, they'll like stab them in the air bladder, then throw them back. Like, here, have fun. Or to put them in the live well for a while. Because otherwise they'll like, whenever you see on those like bass
I've
shows,
never
they hold
seen a
up the trophy
fisherman
bass.
stab a fish in the air bladder and say, "Have fun."
You do that
That's
to throw.
awful.
Okay, not to have fun. You do that to throw it in the live well, so that way whenever you hold it up on camera later, it's not a dead fish that's
Yeah.
been rotting in a cooler for 2 hours.
Okay.
But the issue is that they get suffocated because they're not adjusted to the depths. So that's like 30 feet in a landlocked lake. Imagine the bottom of the ocean
Yeah.
getting ripped up that fast.
What do you wanted to do this animal thing?
I like it. Yeah, I got it pulled up on my page as well.
See, I've got the animal thing pulled up, but I saw this and I was thinking about it. We have to get rid of the hunter if we're gonna do it honestly,
Really?
because
What?
you have to pick the hunter in your decision. Otherwise, he will just shoot you right away. So I think the only fair way to do it is to get rid of the hunter, because otherwise it's like deciding half of it for you.
Yeah, I hear you.
That's true.
It's really tough for me because I'll ask you: don't 10,000 rats take out a hunter?
Not before the hunter shoots you in the head.
And then therein lies the problem, like, are
Yeah.
we in an octagon where everyone's kind of tight together, or are they approaching like, armies before history across the other sides of the field where you see them on the mountaintop and you're on the mountaintop and you meet in a valley or something? Like, the environment matters, because if we're in the octagon, I think 10,000 rats create a big problem for a hunter.
Oh,
I think you just have
octagon.
to keep
Yeah,
your feet moving, right? Keep
but
doing some sort of like stomping motion.
but if the
One
rest,
slip.
if the rest are coming for you, then as soon as it happens, that hunter has no, will to live. He's just going to blast you right in the chest and it's over. So like if we're going to do this, I feel like you got to get rid of the hunter one. And even
Right.
then, there's still 8 choices, and I don't know if there's an option there that you can actually win this fight. I don't know if you can.
Yeah, and I feel like there's a rock, paper, scissors thing happening here, but I haven't quite figured out which is which, right? Like, do 50 of those, what is that, an eagle of some
Yeah,
sort?
an eagle.
Take out
No.
10,000 rats? That's a lot
No.
of rats per eagle.
Not before you're long gone.
Yeah. See, you like okay, so we're assuming no hunter here, just the other 8. You have to choose 10,000 rats because that's going to be your wall, right? Your infantry. That's going to help, protect you a bit. They can flank around. Think about how many rats 10,000 is.
That's like
you don't have to think about it because that's a number, 10,000. It's that many.
Oh, now I get it.
It's that many rats.
I'm like, I don't even know how many rats that is.
That's a lot of rats.
You figure 4 per square foot.
That's
maybe?
a lot.
2,500 square feet. That's like the size of my barn.
I saw most people saying like, 10,000 rats. And to be fair, the people on the PKA Reddit were assuming the hunter was part of it and we're not. But they were all saying the 50 eagles and the 10,000 rats. But how is that going to get... How are those eagles or rats going to damage 10 crocodiles?
Eagles are way overrated. Like, look, imagine you're anywhere, right? In Kyle's backyard, and you see 3 bears. There's a huge problem. As a matter of fact, you're subconsciously keeping an eye out just for lions or whatever. Do you even look for eagles? If you see an eagle overhead, are you concerned about an eagle? There's a reason that people don't give a fuck about every bird to have ever birded during the time that humans have been humans, because they don't present any damage, any danger. There's no trouble to them. I guess in theory, if
what about Birdemic though?
And there's also that movie Birds.
Yeah. If they're motivated, we don't know.
Yeah, it's a bird apocalypse. They're coming for your eyes.
That's the thing is these birds aren't fiddle fucking around like they're coming to you right away. All these animals are coming for you.
They're guided missiles at this point. They're just one after another dive bombing you, full force suicide mode, right? This is a fucked up thing because like there's no right answer because 3 bears is terrifying. Every option is fucking terrifying.
Yeah, I know.
7 of these bulls, I guess. These look like regular cows. They don't look like African buffalo or anything. They just look like big Brahma bulls or something. I don't know. That would be a real fucking problem. Those things are enormous. They're like 2,000 pounds each. And then you got these grizzly bear, 15 wolves. I mean,
it seems like you need to pick
alligators.
At least 3 of them, right? Like there's
I agree.
2 of these that can take the other 7 or 6 in Taylor's case.
Are you armed? That's a good question. All right, are you in street clothes or do you get to like prep? Do you get to put on like a football helmet? And
do I have 2 AA-12s and a sit and spin? Right? Because that's my octagon defense weapon.
No,
are you like Bert in Tremors? There's this hunter in the middle, like Bert in Tremors, or what are we talking? What kind of ammo?
No, he's got terrible stance. No, this
right.
You don't want to rely on this guy.
He's leaning back. He's
leaning back. He doesn't know what he's doing.
Can you ride the bears away? Will they carry you up a tree?
Now, I like this idea. Now we're talking, right? Maybe that's the trick. Maybe that's the trick to be like, bulls, come to me! And like you hop on the bull's back and just run the fuck away.
No, because now we're like adding ridiculousness of, well, what if they start on the other side of a ravine?
Make it too ridiculous?
I learned in Narnia that these lions are really smart.
I think last time I was on, you guys had a fight over the legitimacy of another animal fight day, where it had to be treated seriously. That conversation also happened then.
This is a weekly bit, but it's not a bit because we really do disagree.
I think
at least.
All right, first, I think new rule here: you need to pick 3 of these things, and I don't know if giving 3 brings the hunter back into the fray or not. But clearly, 2 cannot beat all the other combined.
I want the wolves. I want the wolves. I want. I think I want the lions as well because both of those animals are like teamwork pack animals who will like work with each other well. If you've ever seen wolves go after like a large thing, like one of them will like distract it, and when it turns around to fuck with him, the others will come from the other angle. They're good at this sort of thing. Though crocodiles or alligators, whatever those are, I can't look and see the difference. They look like crocodiles to me, though.
Whatever.
Yeah, I don't. There's.
See, I don't think you're thinking this part through. Is those 10 crocodiles or alligators? They like, can't be harmed by the 10,000 rats that are coming your way. They're just gonna mow through them. Like the rats can just break on them like waves on the beach, and they're just gonna keep eating it. So I think you need the crocodiles, you need the wolves,
the hunter.
And then if you're gonna do 3, you have to do the hunter obviously, and then I think crocodiles and wolves. Because like 15 wolves, that could take down 3 grizzly bears.
They
that could
can't take down 4 lions.
Maybe.
I mean, if the hunter picks one off, maybe maybe he can help. I don't know.
Yeah,
This is what you do. You stand on the crocodiles out in the water, and you get the hunter to pick off the birds. And then you are just you are in the floating utopia of Crocland, out in the middle of the water. They can pick off anybody that gets. They won't even get near the water.
Yeah, you're on your favorite. You're on the alpha male croc, and then you've got a perimeter of the other 9 crocs as just a wave after wave of goblin like in Lord of the Rings, where the goblins are in Mines of Moria.
I don't even need all 10 crocs. I'll make some sick boots out of one of the crocs. I only need 9.
If you can choose the terrain, that matters a lot, right? Like if you're up in a tree, then it seems like the hunter could pick them off as they approach you, and now you're set. Maybe put the birds and the hunter on your side, say fuck all the rest, and you're up in a tree.
Bears can climb trees.
But they have a hunter problem.
Can 25 birds carry a man?
I do like the way you're thinking.
Oh man, that is fucking brilliant. That's the answer to this whole quandary.
Guys, it's James and the Giant Peach. It's right in front of our face the whole time.
Yeah, you'd have to do that, because if you didn't pick the birds, like maybe one bird the hunter could shoot down, but the other 49 eagles are coming right for your throat, and they're gonna get you. As much as you dislike birds, Woody, they're coming for you. And they're coming down fast.
I would love it if a woman on TikTok was like, everyone makes it a big deal because I said bear. Well, here I am at the Atlanta Zoo. This is Billy, the Kodiak bear, and I'm going to show you that Billy's not only as friendly as he looks, but
I trust him more than the
drags her through the
zookeeper.
bars. I want to see. Remember that Asian guy with the blue jean jacket, the denim jacket, and that panda bear gets a hold of it, and he starts trying to pull him through the fucking bars.
That panda. At the end of the day, it's a bear. Like if it wants to, it's strong and can fuck you up.
I saw a baboon.
Don't put your back to the bear cage, idiot.
I don't know monks like you do, but I saw this baboon creature walking on a fence, and there was a bunch of Asian people by it, and one of them tried to bully it a little, tried to push it off the fence, and it bit him right here in the cheek so fast he couldn't react, and the monkey was just and the dude's like fuck, and you see that he's got this big bite mark right here on his cheek, and it cuts off before how cut. When you get cut at first, you're like, that's gonna bleed any second now. And there it goes. Yeah. I felt like we were in that preemptive preamble, where the blood hasn't started flowing yet.
Yeah, dude. A monkey will fuck you up. You shouldn't imagine tease them.
Getting bitten in the face by a monkey.
That's a really weird hospital visit. What were you doing? Oh, just minding my own business. It's like your friend's like, no, I got video. He was antagonizing the chimp.
He was bullying that monkey. Yeah,
don't bully animals. Don't be mean to them, especially monkeys. They have hands.
Every now and then I see the people fucking with the bison. I guess there's some sort of, maybe in Yosemite or somewhere, wherever you can go and do that tour where there's bison on the side of the road.
Animal to fuck with.
Yeah, they're enormous. I saw one.
Bison different than buffalo? Stupid question, but
bison are what we call is what American buffalo are called. So there's lots of different.
When I did that motorcycle, when I went across the country, the tat.
Yeah.
You see buffalo.
Yeah. I saw one gore a child the other day in the face. He had his head stuck out a car window, and the buffalo was sort of walking up, and the kid just still had his head stuck out the car window, and the buffalo just went wank and stabbed him in the face.
Okay, that's bad parenting.
Yeah, I thought so too.
You yank that kid back in.
It's a cool ass buffalo though. He was like, "Oh, really? You're not scared? You're not scared? Nobody told you about me?" Whack. Stabbed him in the face.
I'm about to gift you a very unique phobia for the rest of your life.
I'm actually gifted him a really badass Hollywood.
He won't be able to go to Buffalo Wild Wings after
that.
No.
You ever wonder how I got this scar? He'll be telling that joke a lot.
Yeah. I was in Yosemite. My father was a drunk and wasn't paying attention.
Yeah, I really like seeing people get mauled by animals if they have it coming. If they're fucking with the animal, they're abusing it, especially.
Wait, did this kid have it coming?
No, he didn't like seeing this one. This one's just a kid.
I just don't. It was a kid though, so I don't like kids. So
well, yeah, sure.
Whatever happens, right? Where I go the other ways with pit bulls, because I hate pit bulls more than people.
Yeah. The worst animals, the worst dogs.
They are probably the worst dogs.
They're by far the worst dog. Like if someone shows up to a dog park with a pit bull, fuck you. It's not sweet. It's not, oh, they're just the most sensitive dog. No. You bought a fighting dog because you have a weird relationship.
I have an exception. You might be on board. I used to have a violent dog, and in public, we always had it muzzled.
See, that's good. It probably wasn't a pit bull.
It was a Great Dane. So it's a big dog, but it's muzzled. It can't even bark loud. A muzzled dog is like, it's trying to scream with your mouth closed.
It's still scary. The muzzle's scary. You kind of a Hannibal Lecter feel.
Part of it's about how you like handle your dog. You know, like your dog did get loose and bite that lady though.
We weren't there, so that technically I didn't handle it.
I don't know if that makes it better or worse.
I hear you. It was.
I'm not trying to throw you under the bus here, but let's.
Technically, your dog did get loose and bite a lady. Pish posh.
Yeah.
I mean, my dogs did the same thing. All right, so like, there was a knot in the fence, and there's a dog on the other side of the fence from my yard. This is the lady behind us. She's got a little floofy fucker, and I got 4 fucking dogs, and Toby, the big dog, is up there scratching on the fence all day. He's scratching on the fence until he scratches one of the planks in 2, and it falls into their yard, cut in 2 basically by his claws. And then he sends in my Pomeranian as the first strike force. He's the edge of the fucking blade, the tip of the spear. 10 pounds of Pomeranian running at their back door, screaming.
He's trying to make Toby proud.
They've got a dog net like back door. I thought my dog was going to invade. I was like, he's going in. Like he's running for their back door. He's going to go in there and get them, I guess. And here comes their floopy little like goober dog. Bites my dog and like bows up. Like this is a floofy little like half poodle, half mini poodle, half like those things you had, like a teddy bear
like
dog.
A cavapoo, yeah.
Bites my Pomeranian, stands over him like he's a boss. My Pomeranian comes running for me, screaming bloody murder. and I'm looking through, I'm like Jack Nicholson on my knees, looking through this slit where the fence used to be, because it's not the whole plank, it's like 2 feet of it. And I'm screaming through it. I'm so sorry, because the lady's out there now. She's out there trying to intercede. And I'm like, I'm so sorry.
You're yelling through you're like Wilson and.
What are you saying? I'm so sorry.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Screaming at the fucking dog. He finally comes back. He's lucky he didn't have a real dog, or it would have killed his little ass. He's 10 pounds of nothing.
Sounds like he got taken on by like a 14-pound dog and lost.
He did. That's exactly what happened. Like a moderately larger adult dog. Yeah, that's all it took.
I don't have a 14-pounder back there.
And it wasn't a fight. It wasn't a fight. Like the other dog went and like nipped him once, and our dog had never been bitten before because my dogs just take his shit all day, and so does everybody else. And he's just like, oh my god! He's just like he's been.
To be honest, I think I like this other dog.
It's hilarious.
The other dog was defending his home.
Oh yeah, she was like, I'm sorry, he bit your dog, and I'm like, my dog's an asshole. He shouldn't be in your yard. Like he's this is the invader. Like it's his fault.
Yeah. Your dog was illegal.
Yeah, absolutely. You go over that border, whatever happens.
You know, built it. Walls don't work. I've been telling you guys for 6 years now.
Kyle's yard is not sending their best.
No. The 2 big dogs are like hanging back, like because they can't fit through the fucking hole.
Did the big dogs like comfort Murphy when he got back, or were they just kind of like, that's what you get, idiot?
He was fine once he got back. Like he just got scared or whatever.
But I'm sorry you're in your feelings.
Yeah, fuck Nikita, man. That guy's such a piece of shit. I think that guy gets paid millions and millions.
Is that the Tarkov guy?
Yeah.
Man, he really upset his player base, because I would.
Dude,
you
I
love
can't
Tarkov. Or you
anyone
did.
else ever? I mean, this is like a Bud Light thing almost. Like their player base just revolted.
And so now everyone's on the lookout for the replacement game. What are you drinking, by the way, Kyle? What kind of soda is that?
It's some sort of Asian peach cola drink.
Where'd you get that?
I don't at the smoke shop. I went and got some double doinks earlier. Highly recommend the double doinks. You can get it from Faro Distro. They're very strong. They're like joints with THCA, diamond sauce, powder, crystals, and
incredibly
it gets me
strong. Don't
real strong. Every time I step away, I go and like fire it back up and hit it a few times.